Hello and welcome to 20 for 20, where I make 20 brews for my 28th birthday, and this is brew number 15. And if you've been following the trend of what's happening, it's been a very emotional time. I've been dealing with a lot of emotions, a lot of change happening, and I've got the Five of Cups, and this card is literally called Disappointment. Right, and then the herb that I got is fennel seed, which is interesting because fennel I've only had in food, so it's gonna be interesting to drink. But it was almost like on the nose also with what I need, right? The Five of Cups called Disappointment is a Mars in Scorpio card, and the way that how it's been feeling. So the past few days, if you've watched the other brews, I'm coming to another another stump in my life, and it is the dissatisfaction that I'm feeling towards working. Working a physical job, like being back in the workforce in that way, and I've just been very sad about it. Like, and I've just been feeling the disappointment that has to do with the limitations of reality versus my desire for things. And I am got a lot of desires, you know what I mean? Like, I want things in life. Like, I really do. I mean, I feel like my entire life, everything that I do is just based on like me getting to the lifestyle that I want because I know it's possible and I want it and I'm gonna get it, you know? And I know it's hard to just go about it in an ego way. Not an ego way, let me put it, but like yeah, it is a very like forceful, assertive type of way, like very Marsy, like, like let's do it, you know? And at the same time, also emotionally just being like, oh my god, another thing we just did isn't working, or like, oh my god, like I gotta wake up and do this work, or I'm just standing, you know what I mean? Like things like that. And when I have things that are fun going on, like things that actually motivate me to do something, it keeps me going, you know? And when I don't, it stifles me, and I've learned that. And yeah, so this is what's happening at work right now, which actually feeds exactly to this whole disappointment thing. But before we start, I do want to say I do have a link below in my description or my bio, depending on where you're watching this. It's a link to donate to Sudanese-led humanitarian aid organization. Currently, right now, they're in need of food, they're in need of shelter, they're in need of medical aid. They're providing as much as they can to people in Sudan who are currently undergoing the war. So if you have anything to spare, please do. And as always, keep eyes on Sudan. So before we actually start, I'm gonna start pouring the tea because I feel like I really want to sit with the tea while I tell you the story. So I will be back. All right, we got our steeper ready, and we got our tablespoon. So we'll do a tablespoon of fennel seed. I feel like that's a lot. Is it? It's okay. We'll see. And yeah, we're just pouring water, and that is pretty much it. Ooh, she's green already. Interesting. So yeah, so actually, okay, let's start with what the fennel seed is. So the Five of Cups, we said it's disappointment. It has to do with like the limitations of reality. It's like the disappointment of like desire meeting reality, and just uh being able to sit with the realization that something aren't able to manifest, and or that it's not going the way you anticipated it, you know, or like your own limitation within something that you wanted to do. So the fennel seed is actually, it's pretty great. Like I said, every herb has been basically like the medicine for the card, which is kind of exactly what I was hoping for, but it's just so wonderful how it works. But the fennel seed, basically, it's a detoxifier. It also, it basically, what it does is that it helps clear the physical water and the emotional water, right? And water is symbolically, it means emotions, right? It signifies emotion. So it's like clearing that stagnation. When we were talking about the Four of Cups, we were starting to talking about the flow. It pours until it pools, so but then it stays there, so you got to do something with it. And then the Five of Cups, it's like, okay, so now the water stayed and it's like it's murky now, you got to let go of so much, like others just dried up and it's no longer pouring and no longer flowing. That's kind of like the, it's no longer pouring or flowing, it's just stagnant. So the fennel seed is basically, it allows you to kind of, it's a detoxifier. It also helps with, it aids with digestion, so it's actually like speeds up the digestive tract, so it kind of cleanses that energy, right? It helps you let go of that stagnation. It helps you let go of to release anything that is hidden in dark parts, right? The fennel seed is associated with like Mercury, so it's like a lot of the mind, but also with the sun. So we think about it in terms of like the solar plexus. So it's like bringing light to the dark spaces that kind of like are in the crevices. So it like cleans the edgy areas. Like today I was cleaning my steeper, anyways, and I was like getting into like little parts and stuff like that. So it's kind of like that, right? It's like taking just a little bit more time and effort to sit in those parts and just give them the cleaning that they need, and give them the attention and the eye, like the intention of like, oh, I know, like this is time now to clean this, you know. So yeah, so it also is associated with like wisdom and courage, because it's kind of like, it's hard, you know, this is not an easy process to kind of like meet this appointment where you're at and meet the limitations of your physicality in this world, and also still want to keep on going, right? And I was also talking that right now we're in fall, like dead fall, right? It's Scorpio season, but we're entering into winter season. It's like peak depression time, right? But what I like about these areas is that at least this time where the season is that it leaves us bare, right? It literally leaves us bare to who we are in our core, right? And depending on how our core is, it's how we sustain this energy or how we withstand this season change and the changes in life. So initially I wanted to do drinks, I wanted to make my herbal teas, and that's why I did all of this. And then I was like, oh my god, being a bartender, then I can use the herbs into my bartending. I can make syrups, I can, you know. So I got like the motivation, I got the inspiration, and I was at it. I went through it. I've done things, right? And then as you guys have been watching the videos, you've been seeing like I've been hitting like resistance and stuff like that, and I've been just kind of like navigating my way, and I was like, okay, like let me move this way because this is more aligned with who I am. So now at work, when I was doing all these drinks and stuff like that, I realized that there was no motivation, there's no, like, I want something where I can still be creative, and that's what I wanted to do with the drinks. That's why I wanted to work at the bar. But I'm not getting that. And not only am I getting that, I've seen and I've been like noticing and watching my boss and stuff like that, and I actually don't like the way he does things. It's as simple as that. So I don't want to do that anymore, right? So I know my month is coming up and stuff like that, but I was like, okay, like let's see things through. But now that that conversation has brought up, and it was right before the full moon, I was like, oh, like actually I'm really dissatisfied at work and I don't like it, right? I really want to go back to doing what I want to do, which is I'm making videos, right? I love this. I love being able to come and learn something and share and just like explain and share my experience and stuff like that. And I've just moved again, and moving is not easy, right? And I'm trying to build, but I'm also like living paycheck to paycheck, and you know, all of these things, and I just have to like just move to a place, so then I spend everything that I make into the deposit, into the moving and all of that stuff. So it's coming with like the limitations of life, of like where I want to be and where I'm at, but also it's about how I want to go about things, because I've tried things before, and I'm still having that residue of like the disappointment of like things didn't work before. So I gave myself 6 months. I was like, okay, the 6 months is coming up soon, right? And I was like, okay, in 6 months things are gonna change. Like, you are gonna change and you're gonna get back to exactly what you were doing. And that's kind of where I'm feeling right now, because I'm like, oh, am I really there? Am I having to take more time? Am I rushing? Like, is this like, am I still in the loop of like capitalism, trying to run myself dry, rat ball, or all of the things? And at the same time, like, but I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like where I'm at, and I'm always a very firm believer in like, if you don't like something, change it. That's literally how I live my life. Like, if I don't like something, I might change it, and it's just like that. And it's just coming up with a lot, because then it's like, oh, so I just done all of these things. I love it because it's not like I've wasted anything, but I'm still doing, I love working with the herbs. That will never stop, because that's something that I'm actually actively doing in my life. So it's not, I wasn't doing it for the job. I was doing it because that's something I'm doing for my life. And that's kind of how I like to do things. The same with my tarot, the same with my everything that I do. Everything is because I'm doing it in my life, and also because I'm like, this is how I want to live my life. So I keep doing it. I keep like reinforcing it in my life to kind of be like, yeah, this is the life I want to live. Anyway, so all of this has been bringing up a lot of disappointment in terms of like where I'm at in life. Again, being like, here, I'm still working for someone. I don't have my place, but I'm so grateful for where I'm at, right? I'm so grateful for the job that I have, because it exactly pays the bills. That's it. Like, just exactly pays the bills. Like, exactly. Nothing, no rooms, you know what I mean? For anything, but working with it. And that I still get the time, even though I don't have a full schedule, and which I'm really good with. I'm like, glad, like, please let me out, you know? I am like slowly getting into things that I like and stuff like that, but also I'm just like, sit in it. Sit in it. The disappointment in life. And it's funny because I've been watching my old videos to just remind myself of where I was at, and I have a video about this about 6 months ago where I was talking about the disappointment of recognizing that, oh, I was working towards something and it didn't work, and that's when I made the decision to get back to work, and then kind of like pick myself up for a little bit and then go back. But initially, the way how I thought about it is that, oh, I was gonna come and I was gonna grind my way through for 6 months and make shit ton of money, pay off all my debt, blah blah blah, because I've done that before. And then I came here, things did not go like that at all. And then I got a job, and then I realized just how mentally that, like, there was so much resistance in my soul and my body and everything about going back to work and just dedicating that much time and energy for work to people that, you know, like, I felt like almost like controlled, like that wasn't freedom. And then I now we're working, it's a seasonal space, so like I'm not working as much. So I'm like, oh, I didn't meet any of my financial goals and stuff like that. But also what I realized is that physically, my physical limitation, I can no longer go back to how I used to be. I can no longer just work 12-hour shifts, physically just standing all day. I can no longer do 2 jobs at a time. Like, I cannot. And I don't want to. If I'm gonna put that much energy into something, it better be a whole thing that is about pouring into myself. If I'm gonna be putting 12 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours, whatever hours, I wanna do that, and it being like me streaming, me filming, me exercising, me learning something, me, you know, me experiencing life, me meeting people, me planning, and that's really what I want, right? So that's the energy where I want to. But I'm like, oh, I have this great idea that just came up, right, these past few days because of whatever's happening, because I'm like, okay, if I don't like something, change it. And I think it's in that idea that I really want to go there, but also at the same time I know that I have to sit in the feeling of like, but this is where I'm at, because where I'm at is where I start. Where I'm at is where I know what my next step is. It's always in the present. That's just where it's at. So yeah, I've been like mopping around a little bit. I've been just chilling in bed. I've been eating. I actually went and got like, I made soup yesterday for the first time, like a good like squash soup for the first time. It was so good. It is really good. I still have some, you know. So I was just kind of like I'm doing my best, but I'm also not forcing myself to be perfect in this moment, because that's not what this moment needs. And yeah, I'm just really like paying attention to my stomach, my digestive system, how it's reacting to things. And that's when I notice how much tense I am at work, because I'm like this at work. I'm just waiting for time to pass by, and then I come home and I'm like, I can breathe. And I do remind myself I have crystals with me to like breathe and to be here and stuff like that. It's so hard. It's so hard. And I think like after like recognizing just how porous I am energetically, it's hard to go back to a life. And that's where I'm like, my mind is like, but you need this, and my body is like, we need rest. We need rest. We can't stand 6 hours. We can't do that. My spine is hurting. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not that I'm not active. Like I love working out, but I love working out where I can breathe. And that's not what I'm getting when I'm at work. I don't feel like I can do that because I have to be fast and I have to be like, I have to be, it benefits from my hypervigilance, right? I have to always watch and see if people need something or if someone needs me, and like pouring water and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I've been working 2 years to let go of doing that because it's exhausting and it burns me out. And I'm burnt out, and I've only been back to work 3 months now. And I'm burnt out. 3 months of like for working full time. No, like full time for 2 months and then part time. That's it. And I'm burnt out. My body's tired. So this is where I'm at. Sitting with how things are, what I'm feeling, and yeah. It's also a Cancer moon, so I'll get to be very like emo, which I'm all for. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, the tea it does smell pretty intense, and it's pretty dark, so maybe I did put a lot. It does say that it's more of a soft digestive soother, right, and aids in digestion. So I'm excited to see how this goes. Because I'm also leaving. I'm gonna go get more groceries and some snacks. So that's where I'm at. So thank you for being here with me today, for hearing my little story, but also my really real assessment of where I'm at in life. And that I know for a fact 100% that I'm not alone. And if I'm dissatisfied with where I'm at, I will change that. And this time, I will let you in on that change, because fuck this shit. Babe, we're both gonna quit our work. And we're both gonna get into another job where we actually like, okay? And we're gonna make it work. Because you and me together, we are done with this way of living. No more. So I love you. Take care. And until next time.